Hi, my name is Dr. Mary McConnell, and I want to share some information and tips to assist parents during this coronavirus pandemic. Parents are working from home, schools are closed, there are shortages, establishments that we frequent regularly are closed, children's sports and activities have been canceled. Yes, some are on stay at home lockdowns. Parents are trying to balance work, children, learning, and keep a sense of sanity. During this time together, I want to share 7 important tips and ideas that parents can use to get through this difficult time or these times of uncertainty. Tip number 1: remain calm. Keep your communication language, your body language, as calm as possible. Our children are watching how we react, what we say, what we do during this pandemic. Try to minimize their fears because, again, this is difficult for not only parents, but this is also a very difficult time for children as well. And we can help minimize their fears by letting them know that we've had other serious viruses before, such as Ebola, SARS, the flu, and how we came up with different remedies and vaccines for those viruses. So, how we handle this and discuss with our children can help minimize their fears. We want to remain positive. Also, refrain from being critical, blaming, and non compliant. Plan some quiet and relaxing time for yourself as needed. And then also, again, it's real important that we do this as if we're feeling that we are being stressed out, or this is just really being very overwhelming, uh, having to balance our work and then have our children and then dealing with everything that we are faced with during these times of uncertainty. Tip number 2: be patient. Try not to become easily frustrated and upset with your children. Take a time out if you need to. As I stated, this is something new for all of us, and this is a very difficult and stressful time for parents and children. Tip number 3: talk to your children about what the coronavirus is in an age appropriate language they understand. Find out what your child already know about the coronavirus and allow them to ask questions and to share their feelings and their fears. You want to listen to them. And then as you talk to them about what it is and using age appropriate language, clarify some terms or give some examples, some definitions so that they can understand. But you want to make sure that you give them accurate information. Listen to and respond to their concerns and questions that they have, and also listen for their fears. Talk about how it is changing their lives, so have some discussion around how things are different and how they are doing things today. It's real important to provide lots of love, assurance, and a feeling of security. At this time, it's real important that our children feel that they're going to be okay, that they have that feeling of security, that they have that feeling of assurance. So, whatever we can do to do that, it will be greatly beneficial. Talk to them about how to prevent the spreading of the disease and why it is important. We want to follow and practice the federal guidelines and CDC recommendations for washing hands, covering their cough, refraining from touching their face and objects, and social distancing. So, with the washing of the hands, we don't want to just say, go wash your hands. And we want to actually just go through with them and do it together with washing of the hands. And I'm sure that you have seen many examples and different ways that they have been displaying and showing here recently on how to do that. And then the whole piece about social distancing, this is something new. So again, just talking about these things with our children. Tip number 4 is important. Don't go at it alone. It's important again to communicate and network with other parents. Talk to other parents. Find out what they're doing. Get ideas. Get information. Share information. They may have some ideas or some resources that they can share with you, and then vice versa. So we live in an age where communication, we have social media, we have FaceTime, we have Zoom, we have teleconferencing, we have Skype. So there are many different ways to keep that communication and networking going. Utilize the many resources and materials and helps that are available. There's a plethora of information out there that's available for parents. You can always go to your State Board of Education website, and there's a lot of information there, resources and links that will give you ideas and information. There's a National Education Association, NEA, lots of materials. Google, you can go to Google, and there are a lot of different resources and materials as well. Tip number 5, have a daily schedule. Again, plan and organize your day. Having a schedule will help minimize stress and chaos. Routine, consistency, and structure are very important for children, especially at this time. And with them being home, not in school, it's just important, parents, to think about that routine and consistency and structure. When they're in school, they have this because they have a set time for reading, a set time for math, for PE, for transitioning from one activity to the next activity or class. And so they're used to having some of that consistency and routine. So we want to try to keep that intact as much as possible. Have a location in your home where your child can focus and work. Just going back again, talking about the schedule, make a visual display, a visual schedule where you can post and go over that with your child. When you're making your schedule, you can have listed on there wake up time, meal time for meals, snack, study time, chores. You want to make sure that you have some time for chores, physical activities, breaks, and as I stated, to post it. Tip number 6, plan and prepare and eat healthy meals and snacks together. So this is a time that you can try new recipes with your child, create your own recipes, be very, very creative. And during this time, engage in conversation and reflection with your child. Tip number 7, plan activities at home that you can do with your children. And again, this is a wonderful time for families to do activities together at home. Learn and explore something new together. You can do this inside or outside. Have a daily family meeting to discuss the events of the day and to check the emotional well-being of your children. So this is a time that you can have conversation, you can talk, you can have reflection, as well as I just mentioned, to check in on their emotional well-being. And I think this is real important for us to do and monitor. Watch a movie or documentary together and discuss it. Read a book together and talk about it and discuss and ask questions. Learn a new word together and practice using it in conversation. Play a board game that you haven't played for a long time or other games of your choice. Pull out that and dust off that Monopoly game and play with your children. And this was a game that we played a lot with our children when they were growing up. We just loved playing Monopoly over and over and over again. Work on a family project together. Look at old photos. Pull out those old photos of grandparents and aunts and relatives and talk about those photos and the family members. And this is a good time to reflect on family history. Play music, exercise, dance or make up a dance together. So basically just have fun. Remember, we want to be the best and supportive parents that we can to our children during this coronavirus pandemic.